Daniel, thanks so much for taking the time today to sit down with us and walk through how you've implemented Blast here at Seton University. Go ahead and take us through your process of using Blast on the normal days of practice.
So we take this minimalistic approach because we only want to see the swings that matter. The machines between upper 50s to low 60s are very much like what they are in games. So that's what we do all of our tracking now, because we don't want to get better at practicing, we want to get better at playing the game. So on a daily basis, once we get into the more game-like part of practice, we'll have 3 tunnels going without Blast and just 1 tunnel with Blast, and get about 10-15 swings on each player on a daily basis, which is enough if you do it over and over and over and over. So you're gonna be here. Check out the band. Open up your belly button, but keeping the back foot planted, and just externally rotating up. Try to get that to lay flat. But if you're shifting forward, then your bat is not gonna enter as deeply behind the ball. So use the Blast motion sensors to figure out, okay, where are our problems, and then we want to be creative in the how that we try to improve these metrics. That's how we sort of design these drills. It's based off of what does the game ask me to do, okay, and then what do I maybe not do so well, and then the drills are just, okay, let me be in a setting or in a setup that is now going to make it challenging to perform a good swing. The rest happens in the office. Based off of sort of how we're trending, I will change practice or add in a few drills or make no adjustments if I feel we're in a good spot. But that's how we use Blast motion on the day-to-day.
So Daniel, do you mind kind of running through your holistic approach and how you approach all this data and export that out of Blast Connect? What's your vision behind all the Blast data?
So I think it's important before you start to implement any technologies to figure out where does this fit into our program and into our system, because there's only one piece. So for us, our goal has always been to find a way to really accurately evaluate our practice performance, our in-game performance, and that's where we have to get a little bit more granular and a little bit more detailed with our approach. So what we're looking to do is basically create a report that tells us, okay, where are we now? Where do we want to go? Or where do we need to go? And then, okay, how are we trending over time? So that's where we spend a lot of time on building out this really thorough and accurate report.
What would you give a new coach? Any pointers that you'd recommend for them?
The first one would just be to create a database with all your players. So go to the Blast Connect, go to the metrics, export them out, go into either an Excel or a Google Sheets file, and just paste it over time in there. Because in there you can create your own graphs and ask sort of, you're trying to get some answers to some problems that you're identifying with your team. You can change around those graphs over time. Whether you're just looking for averages or variance or standard deviations or anything like that, see where your players are currently at in just a plain number, or you're trying to visualize it for your players in a little bit more customized way for maybe how your players best operate. Once we start playing, we can see, okay, who is performing at a high level and who's maybe not. Right? So now we're looking at, okay, the players with swings that play, what are they doing? And taking those two, one on a swing-by-swing basis and a play-by-player basis, and kind of combining it to come up with some ideal ranges that we're working to lay within. And we want to keep this elbow kind of in the same spot. The main thing is being willing to sort of experiment with different technologies. Once you start collecting data, you can look back even if you don't thoroughly understand the data you're collecting at that time. And I think you're seeing some significant production coming from programs that are changing their philosophies at all levels of softball. So I definitely see technology as sort of a must-have. It's a technology like Blast, otherwise you're going to fall behind.